Hello, my friend. I have a special invitation for you. I have a new, potent, concentrated group coaching program called Crucible. We begin on April 10th. You can go check out timewitchery.com/crucible, and I'm going to tell you all about it at the end of the show. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Welcome to Mind Witchery. I'm your host, Natalie Miller, and I'm so glad you're here. Hello, my sweet witchy friends. Welcome back to Mind Witchery. I have a special episode for you today, a bonus episode to welcome in the spring equinox, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm releasing this episode on the spring equinox, on the day that we are turning toward more light than darkness, on the day that we are restarting the astrological new year, or at least a lot of people will say that the beginning of Aries season is the beginning of the astrological new year. I was excited to do a spring equinox episode because there is totally equinox energy impelling the release of this podcast. This podcast has actually I've been pregnant with it for many, many months. Come to think of it, about 9 months. It's about 9 months ago. It's like a baby. It's about 9 months ago that I started to get excited about having a podcast that was dedicated to helping people to think in different ways and incorporating a little bit of woo. I love astrology. I love tarot. I have a burning candle and an amethyst right in front of me. Oh, and a picture of my witchy grandma also. I love the woo. I love the meaning that it brings into my life. And so occasions like the spring equinox always feel to me like invitations to take a step back from my everyday doings and routines and to both reflect and also intend. So I'm a person who loves a new beginning. I love a new year, a new month, a new season, and the equinox is definitely feeling like it's got lots of the energy that it theoretically brings. What I mean by that is the equinox as the beginning of Aries season and the beginning of this sort of next trip around the zodiacal wheel. This is birth energy. It's birth energy. Aries is fiery and Aries is assertive. Aries energy is totally in all of the earliest spring flowers. You know the ones I'm talking about, the crocuses, the tulips, the spring flowers that have been in bulbs beneath the surface of the dirt, in the cold, through the cold winters, just absorbing energy. Preparing. So just like I've been pregnant with this podcast, the bulbs have been pregnant with their flowers. And when they begin to grow, isn't it extraordinary? It's the first bits of green, the first shoots, and their stems are so strong. And these are stout little flowers most of the time, right? They're fairly low to the ground. They're stout. there's a delicateness to them, but more than that, they are just tenacious. And that is the energy of Aries coming out yellow. I'm thinking about daffodils. I'm thinking about the beautiful snowdrops that are right by my mailbox right now. They're coming out, they're showing up as flowers. They're saying, I'm here. And that is birth energy. Birth energy says, I am here. It's the brand new baby crying. There's a lovely tarot teacher, Lindsay Mack, and she was talking about Aries energy in this way on her podcast, Tarot for the Wild Soul. She was talking about how it's that brand new baby, like, rah, that's Aries energy. But here's the thing about birth. And Lindsay mentions this in her podcast, and I can tell you this, having had the great luck and privilege to have 2 babies. Birth is not a clean beginning. We say it's a beginning, but it's actually just a particular point in the cycle where there's a separation. So the podcast, the crocus, the baby has been growing, brewing, coming together. It's been creating. And then there is the moment of separation. There's the moment of, okay, it was held close. It was held close to my bosom in my podcast producer's hard drive. The crocus was held just beneath the ground. The baby was held inside the womb. And then there's the moment of birth, and it's the moment of separating out, of coming out, of declaring itself to be a thing, to be in the world and bringing its color and its gifts and its challenges into the world. So I love to think about the equinox and about beginnings in this way. It's a beginning, but more than a beginning, it's a moment of departure. It's a moment of separation. It's a moment of sorting, if you will. So as I was thinking about how I wanted to talk about a nice way to celebrate the equinox, I was tossing around a lot of different ideas in my mind. And then yesterday, and I should tell you I'm recording this just about a week and a half before the equinox. Yesterday, I had an Aries moment. It's Pisces season right now. But yesterday, I had an Aries moment where I just felt a need to be like, rah, right? To sort of separate and to declare autonomy and to make a change and to make myself felt in this world. So what did I do? I grabbed a rake and I went out into my front yard where there are several large flower beds that were full of leaves, just the last leaves of autumn that had come down, November, December. And I grabbed the rake and I just started clearing. Pull, 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 pull. I just started clearing. And as I was clearing, I was taking away what was not any longer necessary. Okay, I'm ready. I don't need to have these leaves still here in this bed. I'm ready to remove them. I'm ready to expose what's underneath. Pulling, pulling, pulling. And then as I did, I had some choices to make. I found some little barren sticks that were kind of randomly coming up out of one of the beds. And I had a choice to make. Am I leaving these or am I pruning them down? I chose prune because I was in a pruning mood, everyone. And Aries has some pruning energy to it. Aries is here to say, I'm here I am me. I am not that. I am this. I am not that. I am like this. I am not like that. It's an individuating energy. And so we can look to the equinox in this way. Yes, there's a new beginning, but the new beginning actually begins with a clearing out. So I'm out in the flower beds and I'm pulling. I'm raking away the piles of old leaves that I definitely don't want anymore. And I'm uncovering little possibilities. I'm remembering, oh, here are some tulips. I'm beginning to set the stage for what's next. So it's the moment of separation. I'm taking away what I don't want, and I'm beginning to make space for what I do want. So sometimes when we think of a new beginning, I think, you know what it is actually like? It's like when a baby is born on a TV show, and anyone who knows babies is like, that is not a newborn baby. That's like a 6-month-old baby, right? The baby is just, it's bigger than a baby kind of actually is when a baby is born. That's how we think of new beginnings sometimes. Even me with this podcast, it's just coming into the world and already I'm expecting it to be kind of this more sort of well-formed manifest thing than it really is yet. It's going to grow into that. So I like to remember that in a moment like this, like the equinox of the new beginning. You know, in my mind, sometimes I think about spring, and spring energy looks like maypoles and, you know, blossoms everywhere. But I live in the mid-Atlantic United States. Actually, the first day of spring is usually pretty cold. It's sunny if we're lucky. There aren't any leaves yet on the trees. It's not bursting forth in bloom. And yet, the separation has happened. The turn has been made. Yes, now we have a little more than 12 hours of light and slightly fewer than 12 hours of dark. Yes, we are coming out, coming into more light. We're coming toward the sun. I'd love for you to consider for a moment, where in your life are you ready for a shift? Where is it time either to do some clearing, some sorting, or where is it time to bring something up and out? Where's the energy of that something's got to change, something's got to shift, something's got to express, something's got to clear? Where is that energy in your life? It might be in your home, in your living space. It might be in your everyday routines. It might be in a particular relationship. That's a beautiful question for the equinox. The next question is, what am I ready to let go of? And what am I ready to grow? What do I want to clear away? And what do I want to cultivate? What do I want to bring into the light? So I hope it's inspiring for you to think about beginnings in this way, that beginnings actually, they're part of a longer cycle. And whatever is ready to come up and out, I want you to trust it's been brewing. And when I say that, I think you know what I mean. This move you are ready to make, it's been brewing. It's under cover. And under cover of what? I don't know. It might be under cover of secrecy. It might be under cover of uncertainty. It might be under cover of self-doubt. It might be under cover just of a long pandemic winter heaviness. But it's been brewing. It's been growing. It's already begun. Equinox. This year it's on a Saturday, but I want you to feel huge permission to extend it throughout Aries season. Aries season lasts a good month. You've got middle of March to middle of April, and you'll make the move in the moment that you're ready to make the move. And maybe there's a good deal of clearing to do first. But might you use this equinox season to bring something that's been brewing up and out into the light and into your life? We're reminded at this time of rebirth, of new beginnings, and also of how that rebirth and new beginning is in a cycle that we get to repeat again and again. This is the moment in the cycle where we come up and out. And so what is it, or where is it in you, in your life, that you are ready for a stout little flower of creativity, of truth, of excitement to begin to come through? One thing I would love to recommend for your equinox celebration is that you get physical with it. So for me, it was clearing out my flower beds. And I don't know where this is going to happen for you. Maybe in your kitchen, maybe in your closet, maybe in your writing journals. But get in there as you are doing the clearing and the sorting and the separating. You might also pull into a central place in your home some kind of symbol for you of bursting forth and breaking through. And so that might be some spring bulbs, flowers that are growing, or a favorite plant that you move into a spot to get a little bit more light. It might be a picture of someone who has that self-declaring vibe, maybe even a mirror with some candles around it to remind you that you're here, to remind you that you are an individual in this collective. So however you do it, I hope that you will enjoy this energy of beginning, of separation in the name of bigger, bolder expression of life force. That is what the equinox is all about. And we need it this year at the end of certainly one of the toughest winters. I think we can all know that as we come forward with our expressions of life force, of creativity, of beauty, of courage, of what it is that we came to bring to this world, it's fuel not only for our own growth, but for everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Go tend to what's been brewing. When you do it for yourself, you're doing it for all of us. Thanks for listening. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Mind Witchery. To catch all the magic I'm offering, please subscribe to the show. Or if you want a little bit of weekly witchiness in your inbox, sign up for my Sunday letter at mindwitchery.com. If today's episode made you think of a friend or loved one, your sister, your neighbor, please tell them about it. We need more magic makers in this troubled world. Like all good things, this podcast is co-created by stellar people. Our music is by fabulous DJ, artist, and producer Shammy D. Our gorgeous art is by the sorcerers at New Moon Creative. Mind Witchery is produced in conjunction with Particulate Media, K.O. Myers, executive producer, and I am Natalie Miller. Till next time. Hello. As promised, here is a little bit of info about my new group coaching program called Crucible. You know what a crucible is? A crucible is a container in which transformation occurs. It's a strong container, basically like where you melt down metals so that you can make new things. You can make alloys. And my program is called Crucible because it is designed to give you a space where you can summon the courage, the inspiration, the momentum that you need to finally take action on, to finally manifest that thing that you have been wanting to do. And what is that thing? I don't know. That thing might be a new offer if you are an entrepreneur. That thing might be the idea for the book that's been swirling around in your head. It might be an outline for that book. It might be a whole short story. That thing might be a job description for the assistant that you've been wanting to hire. That thing might be your own podcast. Whatever that thing is that you keep thinking, oh, someday I'd really love to make this happen. Crucible says, let's do it now and let's do it together. So Crucible offers 7 weeks of group coaching. Crucible offers insight into how it is exactly that I take an idea and make it real. Right? Now, this is not about me kind of imposing my method onto you, but it is about sparking your own creativity and insisting on a self-honoring way of creating. Yeah? Crucible is about community with other people who are also making it happen. And I cannot even begin to put into words how valuable that is. How much of a difference it makes to be surrounded by other people who are expanding and growing into what's next. Crucible is in large measure about helping you to claim the time and energy that you need to create what's next. And so we'll use my anti-planner, Time Witchery, to do that. We will use co-working sessions that are hosted by Flow Club. I'm very excited about that part in particular. So Crucible is not assuming that you have the willpower and courage and time and energy to make this thing happen. In fact, Crucible says, oh yeah, let's give you a place to generate that, to generate all that you need in order to manifest what it is that you want next. So you are invited. You can go check out Crucible at timewitchery.com/crucible. We begin on April 10th. We go through April and most of May, and then we get to take off for the summer having finally taken action on that thing that you've been toying with, flirting with, wondering about, dreaming about for so long. So again, more details at timewitchery.com/crucible. I super hope you will meet me inside.